Kim. How are
Good
you?
morning, Miss Tracy Champagne.
Hey, look,
Hi.
I have sun.
You have
You
sun?
do not.
No.
I'm so excited.
Gloomy,
Finally, for once, our weather is
gloomy
better.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Wauwatosa day, but that's okay. We're going to make it great.
Yes. So, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Tracy Champagne, and today is episode number 30 of season number 3. I have a business called Small Business Milwaukee where we do digital marketing, website design, social, blog writing, all those kind of digital things. And that's a little bit about me. And the weather might be yucky, but we are super, super excited for today. And this is going to be a show all about software, and more software. And Kim and I, we love tools like crazy. So, Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Software tools, that is. We've got their producer giggling. Hello, everybody. Like Tracy said, I am Kim Knock. I have a business, Opportunities Knocking, and I do many of the same things as Tracy, along with Tracy, and we just side by side for all kinds of things. But I'm also adding in a lot of event planning. At some point, I need to just start putting that into my discussion because it's true and it's happening and it's where the money's flowing in for me right now. Today, we are happy to have our guests, Ryan Cohn and Brandon Frisch. I hope I did not ruin your last names. Tracy and I are really looking forward to talking to you guys today.
And as always, we love to start our show by thanking our fantastic partners. The Connect Show every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on all your social media is brought to you by Connect Media Live, helping businesses reach their audiences through social media, video, and web development. And if it's time to move one to many, visit connectmedia.live for more information.
They should, because the shows are where it's at. Today, we also have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast the show every week live out of Studio A5. It's a great community to be a part of. At some point, I am going to get the pink drink to be a sponsor too. I'm going to work it. And if not, if there's another place in the area that can make the pink drink be a sponsor, let's go. Because it's been here every week.
You should make your own recipe of the pink drink, and then we could have the Connect Show pink drink. Then you could be in competition.
I could do it. But if you are interested in finding out more about Expansive, there are 42 locations across the United States. I've been visiting many of them. They're in some of the most beautiful buildings I've seen. Visit expansive.com and you can find out more information. Producer John, did they clean the fridges out last week?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Clean fridges. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Good to know.
Right.
We are very thankful that you've come to watch the Connect Show. We think that connecting is a huge key to building your small business. So please tell your friends about our show. And if you have a topic that we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com.
We have to thank our guests from last week again, Tanya and Charlene, both basketball women. They had roots in Division I basketball, followed their passion, traveled the world, and have their own businesses and really taught us so much about passions, but impacts that they can have on others. You know, Mitch is usually here, but he's vacationing again, I guess. He wants to talk about nuggets about our upcoming guest, but he's under the weather, he says. But I think he took another vacation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Feel better, Mitch.
He's just using the gloomy day as his excuse.
I don't blame him.
He's probably recovering from all of his vacation. And remember, everyone, the Connect Show is better when it's interactive. So please add your comments in the chat. So if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn watching us, put those comments in the chat and we will see them and address your comments. It's a great opportunity to get expert advice, help your business grow, and connect with new people to add to your network.
We are all volunteers here at the Connect Show. If you like the show, want to be a part of the show, want to help volunteer, throw some of your own nuggets in there. We're adding on all kinds of fun things every week. It looks like our continuing part of the season is going to be extra great. So if you're interested in being part of that journey, email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. Thank you so much to everyone that's involved. And if you're participating in the chat or sharing this, you are also involved. So thank you. We're on to our quote of the day.
Do we got anything from here?
No, we do not.
John, you could tell them about the picnic. All right, quote of the day. The technology you use impresses no one. The experience you create with it is everything. From Sean Garrity, founder of the American Prairie and a nonprofit focused on the environment.
I don't know if I believe that.
The technology you use impresses no one. The
It
experience
impresses the people that do the same thing I do, but it doesn't impress the end goal, I think. Because if I found a technology and I said, Tracy, this works amazing, you'd be like, let me check it out.
Yeah, but you're impressed with the experience that it gives you, not the actual
maybe
piece of.
Maybe.
Well, I don't
have to
know.
believe it. I
Technology
have to
like
believe it.
Chat GPT is pretty cool.
I half believe it. I understand where they're coming from. So,
Mhm.
like, my client isn't going to be impressed with the technology that I'm using to make their experience amazing. But people that are doing the same thing as me might be like, oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. I want to use that. So, I half agree with that quote.
I get where you're coming from. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, so let's get this party started with our question of the day. This is a great question, perfect for our topic today. So, how do you decide what is the best technology or CRM or automation you use for your business?
Well, kind of what I just said.
Yeah.
Like, I think hearing from others that do similar things to me, like, we always go back to this. You use the things and deal with the people that you know, like, and trust, right? So if we have other people trying the automation out and they're like, hey, I really found this, I'll try it and say, yes, I really like it too. Cost is also a factor. Like, is it worth it, or is there something else out there that can provide the same opportunities for much less? There's a lot of things. How about you? Because we like our technology and tools.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll try anything once, and I have a lot of open accounts all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, I think I'm okay with it, but if I dive right into that tool and then I start using it, but if I don't find myself using it in another month to 6 weeks, or I've completely forgotten about it, apparently it's not the one for me. Because
Right.
if I stick with it, then, but see, now I say that, but then on occasion there are tools that I've gone back to that I haven't used for like a year. And all of a sudden, oh, this is fitting my needs much better. So either the tool improved or my needs changed for what I needed the tool for. So
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Adam says it's very subjective, but price, ease of use, and training of how to use is important. I think that's key
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
That's a great visual on that, because really it's all of the above.
Yeah, I do like the free, month, or the free month, or whatever it is, or I do like the tiered levels also, because if I like the product enough, I'll pay more money for it for the
Exactly. I
the
do
things
that
that I
with
need.
a lot of things. I'll try it free and then move on. But I also get stuck into the, oh yeah, you signed up for it. You have to cancel it prior to blah blah blah, or you're getting charged, and I get charged all the time. I'm
You
terrible.
got to take your credit card out right away.
I know. I'm such a sucker for that stuff. Such a sucker.
Like there's this tool called Todoist, and it's like a project planner.
Yeah.
And I started using it maybe 5 years ago. And at first I was like, no, I'm not really getting into this. And then I tried it again, like another couple of years later. And then I put all my stuff in it. And then I didn't like it at all. And I took everything out of it again. And then I was like, I'm just going to use it for this one thing. And the thing that I use it for is for website updates. So then I can put the link right in that tool to click right on it. And I can click on like 5 or 6, open up all the sites, do all the things that I need to do my updates every week. And then I can quickly say, it's got a spot in there where it'll say, every Sunday. So then as soon as I click it that I did it, it pops up again. And then I'll get an email on Sunday saying, hey, it's time to do your website updates. So it's not so bad, but it really just depends on how you want to use it. So I think it's just finding the fit for your whatever it is that you need to do. You got to like it.
I agree. I totally agree. I don't know.
Hi, John.
I like to try all different things. So
John popped up for a second there.
I did because I wanted to join in. I'm so
Yes.
excited about technology.
yes.
When I think about technology, it's for me, it's a new habit. So, I know Asana boards work, but Asana boards only work if I'm in the habit of doing it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And am I willing to make that commitment and carve out that space? Right now, I'm in a HubSpot habit. I know HubSpot works if I use it every day and I continue to learn and grow. But as soon as I fall off of that habit and forget that daily routine, HubSpot's no longer a tool. So to answer the question, it's do I have the time to develop that new habit and the commitment and the consistency to show up every day and do that?
But that's after you
just
like the
mic dropped
tool.
on that. Yes.
That was good.
Yeah, he just mic dropped on that. Habits. I love it.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Okay, so talking about John.
John is here running things behind the scene, throwing himself on camera every once in a while. We miss his face on camera, so we love when he does it. We've got another something. Is this really John speaking, or is it his AI? See, John's all about AI. Show your face again for Adam. We love Adam.
I am a real human.
Adam knows John is all about AI right now, and he's learning some great stuff and sharing with others, which I just love. So with that, we are on to our first guest. Tracy, take it away.
All right, our first guest today is Adam's message went away. Okay, our first guest today is Ryan. Ryan Cohen is a serial entrepreneur, Airbnb investor, social media influencer, where his specialty is in YouTube, and he's a sales and marketing expert.
Like Tracy said, Ryan is an experienced sales professional. He has a longstanding background in the solar industry. Ryan spent over 4 years selling solar and running his own company. He is currently based in San Diego.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Hi.
Hey, Ryan. Great to have you. So with our audience question today, how do you figure out what technology you like to use?
Yeah, it's a great question. I typically just evaluate like what are the challenges that I have in my business, what's taking a lot of my time, and try to fill in those holes with something that can automate it. So for the Airbnb business, a big part of that was just trying to free up my time a little bit, because running an Airbnb, it could take up your whole day. It could be a full-time job, really. Communicating with the guests, sending the check-in messages, the checkout message, scheduling your cleaner, like all these different things. It could be really a full-time job. So I wanted to use a tool that allowed me to automate a lot of that, and was able to find a tool through recommendations, by other Airbnb hosts. There's a tool called Guesty, which basically lets me automate the whole thing. I can set a check-in message per unit. I can set a checkout message per unit, and I can have my cleaner integrated into the calendar system so that she's getting, emails and texts as soon as there's a new booking, and she can see the calendar from her phone and all these things. So that's usually how I evaluate it. I just want to make sure I'm not taking up all my, my time, if you can outsource it to something else.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with YouTube, how did you figure out YouTube was where you wanted to be?
Yeah. I've always loved YouTube. It's, it's a fun place to be. I think it's one of the less, toxic social medias. It's just, you go there, create, there's a lot of great creators. It's just different from all the other social platforms to me. And I used to make YouTube videos when I was a kid. like, 10 or 11 years old. We just would make silly videos, ding dong ditch videos and, really, really silly things. But yeah, so that's kind of evolved, and I became a Minecraft video person. A few years later, I was making tutorials and stuff like that. And yeah, and then a few years went by, and actually quite a few years, and I've repurposed that channel into my channel today. So I just see it as the best place to build a community and have a voice. You can document your journey. You can film yourself trying these different business ideas and investment opportunities, and it's okay to fail. People will still support you, and you can grow your audience along the way.
My kids are all about the YouTube right now. Everything is the YouTube. Can I make a dumb video of me on the trampoline? Can I? We've got 9 and 12, and they think they're YouTube stars, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it.
And I think I wish my parents supported it more when I was a kid. Not that they didn't support it, but I wish I continued making these videos consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the story of Mr. Beast. He made videos almost daily for, I don't know, 15 years. And look where he's at now. He's the biggest YouTube star in the world.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what's your opinion and the best way to generate leads?
Best way to generate leads, I think it's like a 6-prong approach. I think social media is a big part of it. That's why I want to build my personal brand on social media. Mm-hmm. But I think it's doing a little bit of everything. Paid advertising, having a great website, being everywhere on social platforms. Coming on to shows like this. This is a great opportunity. But also, having tools on the website that help convert, which is why I'm so excited about the company that I'm with today. Also doing cold outreach, I think, is a big part of it. I have had many years in doing door-to-door sales and just cold calling. LinkedIn is a big part of it. And there's a tool I use that I've been able to automate a lot of the outreach and kind of email sequences to generate a decent amount of leads. So it's like a 5-prong approach.
Excellent. What distinguishes the company that you're with, Apex Chat, from its competition?
Yeah.
Good question.
It is a good question. So, 50,000 foot view, Apex Chat is a chat software that gets installed on the website. And we have 250, trained agents that will work those chats 24/7. So many businesses, they maybe tried a chat software in the past. They've had, I think HubSpot has a platform for it. Many different companies have platforms for it, but they usually just require the business owner to man those chats. And usually, if you're running a business, you're taking phone calls, you're sending out quotes, you're doing a bunch of different things. You don't want to take a chat. And their employees probably don't like it either. So there's that, or they can do like a chat bot, which, is basically, they say it's AI, but there's really no AI in a chat service on a website yet. It's usually just like a click funnel, and customers don't like it. So what we do is we have our agents that will work, we'll do custom scripting and branding, and really, kind of warm up a customer that comes to the website and get them comfortable enough to give us their contact information and qualify the lead. So that's our main differentiator.
So are those, so you said it's not like an AI thing. So you must write the questions and then write all the answers. So when the questions come in, there's like a populated source of answers that go to that question.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. We'll work with the business owner to do the scripting. Usually only takes 2 to 3 business days, but, and that can always be changed over time. As we're seeing the chat transcript come in, we can see commonly asked questions and work with the owner to, come up with the best answers. But, the main goal is not to know everything about the business. A customer we don't need to give them everything about the business in order to get their information.
And then as that business changes, you'd have to change all those answers.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, there is some development that needs to happen if there's a pivot, but usually it's not too dramatic. Yeah.
So what is one thing business owners should focus on to help them generate more business in 2023?
I think one thing I've been using is networking groups. I think networking is such a undervalued thing by businesses. I mean, maybe small businesses take advantage of it, but I've been really impressed with the networking group I'm part of called H7. And, it's a paid membership, but you just get such high quality people in there that want to help you. And, they talk about building champions in your space. So people that, are working their same customer base that you're looking for, and basically building a friendship or relationship with those people and allowing them, to make introductions for you. I think it's a really undervalued thing.
I couldn't agree more. Networking is everything. It's how I became what I became, how I quit corporate America, started my own business, became part of the show, met Tracy. I've known Tracy for maybe 7 years, something like that, but it all started with networking, and I only attended one group a month. And it has exploded to now
she's running that group.
Now I'm running that group plus, so I'm running 4 networking groups a month, 1 a week. It's key, absolute key to my business.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's so important. That's how I met Tracy as well. So
yeah,
it's a testament to how powerful it really is.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the H7 group? I haven't been to it yet, but I've heard a lot about it, and everybody that I've talked to has really good things to say about it.
Yeah, and I think H7's the best one that I've been to. I've been to like local chambers of commerce, and I've done, pitch events at real estate groups and stuff like that. But I think the value with H7 is it is all business to business people for the most part. And it is a paid membership, so you get a little bit higher quality of people, people that are there they have a bit of a marketing budget and they want to grow their business and help each other. And they spend a lot of time training people that come in to make sure that you have the same values as everyone else there, which is connect, serve, and ask. So, when you meet with someone, you're connecting, you're asking questions about their business. Then you ask, like, how can I help you? Is there anything that you're looking for? Who can I connect you with? And then at the end, you want to make sure you're asking for what you're looking for. And, but by serving them, people are more likely to help you. So it's a really unique way to go about it. I haven't seen it in any other group.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm Googling it right now.
Are you?
Nothing live in Wisconsin, but they do have virtual meetings. So
they have virtual. Yep.
Yep. I go all virtual.
Excellent. Well, it's something definitely to check out. I've got it in my Google tab. It's not going away unless Google shuts down on me. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ryan. Do you have an offer or an event or anything you'd like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for anyone that's, coming from the show, I'd be happy to meet with you, do like a one-on-one call. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in at Ryan Cohn, and you can find a meeting link there. But happy to talk with you about your business, provide any help that I can or connections. Happy to talk about Apex Chat. We can even offer a discount, to start generating leads for you guys. About 10% off of our normal pricing. But other than that, just appreciate you guys having me on. This was a lot of fun.
We appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining us. We do have a page on our website for you. It's at connectshow.com/Ryan, COHN. Producer John's got that on the screen for you. And I look forward to connecting with you further. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. I have to pick his brain again another day. We already talked about some of his chat services, but I'm already thinking of multiple different ways I could be using that.
I'm sure on Small Business Milwaukee's website alone, all the
Yeah.
questions and stuff that could pop up. Oh, that would be, yes.
Yeah.
I could see it working very well to your
Yeah.
advantage for sure.
Yeah,
For
use it on my stuff first, and then promote it to clients. Because
Absolutely.
there's a number of clients that I'm sure could benefit from that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. John, do we have anything going on? Oh, we've got, can you put the name or the link for the networking meeting he mentioned in the chat? John will handle that for you. Thank you for the great question. And John, would you like to talk about our upcoming event, or do you have a transition for us today? Or should we go right on into the next guest?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! So yeah, our upcoming event is June 20th, and it's a picnic. So if you're local here in Wisconsin,
You can fly in.
You can fly in. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a bit of a potluck, and we also have some barbecue that we're going to be bringing, and there's some local restaurants that will also be bringing in some various food. But there's a lot of people, and we're right here in the courtyard behind us. There's a beautiful space with lots of picnic tables and chairs. We have giant Jenga and smoked butt.
We should have pickleball. Pickleball is all the rage.
It's huge. My sister runs a pickleball thing, so I always have my eyes out for pickleball. And we were at the old Grand Avenue Mall, which is now the 3rd Street Market, something like that. But they have these super cool apartments that they made inside the mall. So your front porch is basically the mall, like where the mall used to be. Totally cool. It's all over TikTok, all the rage. But in the middle, in the courtyard, they had 2 indoor pickleball courts right next to the indoor dog park.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we got to do a show down there in the pickleball courts and do like a little bit on the scenes and get some lessons. I think that's on our list.
I think that's to be put on the to-do list, definitely.
Back to you, Kim and Tracy.
All right. Up next.
Have you ever played pickleball, Kim?
I have not, but I'm kind of a reality show junkie. And one of the reality shows that I watch, they've been talking about pickleball for years. This isn't a new thing, you guys. It's just, I mean, the Midwest takes a little longer than like California to catch on.
Yeah.
So I know, I think like California, Florida, it's really big in like those communities where they can be outside all year round. But
Yeah.
it's catching on.
It is.
Never played it. It's kind of like a tennis, I think.
That's
I don't
what it looks like. I've never played it either.
me either. But people get into it.
Mhm.
All the rage. Up next, we have guest Brandon Frisch. Brandon is a Denver-based tech entrepreneur and business automation expert who currently owns and operates Begin Software, a U.S. agency that helps guide non-technical entrepreneurs and businesses through the software development process.
Brandon cut his teeth as a non-technical founder by launching a tech startup focused on helping tackle the fear of public speaking. That experience led him to start Begin. So welcome to the show.
Well, my goodness, that's a tough thing to get into, the public speaking. Welcome, Brandon.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to refer back to the audience question, and this sounds like a perfect question for you. How did you decide your technology?
Yeah, so for our technology, or are you asking just generally what
Just
would I
in
recommend?
general, like what technology you're using for your businesses?
Yeah, I've learned the hard way,
Mhm.
as I do with a lot of things, and I think figuring out where you're going to end up and making sure that the tools you're going to select are like the features are there to support it, and then also looking at price. I was talking with Tracy before the show that I got screwed by needing to upgrade and my license being 10x'd when I realized I started needing to upgrade to some features, and that was a mistake because I didn't look into the product enough. It did happen to be HubSpot, so watch out, John. But that would be my feedback. Document what you need. Make sure that the tool can support it. Make sure that you know how many people on your team need to use it. make sure you're covering your bases before you sign up, because the switching costs are really high if you make that mistake. So
That's a really, really, really good point. Think about the end game. It's not just about what's happening in your business right now. Especially if you're just starting out, where do you want it to go?
yeah,
And that's really smart. And you maybe talk to other people and say, hey, I think this is going to happen here. Do you think this is enough? People are willing to help no matter what.
it shouldn't be a temporary thing. I think that's
Right.
a big misconception. I heard Tracy, you talking about like, oh, I like trying things out, and that's great. But I'm sure when you put all your stuff into that one tool and then took it all out, like that's a huge chore, and you lost time, and
It's a time
I'm sure stuff got lost in transition, and that's just a very uncomfortable thing. So take it very seriously, like
Mhm.
plan up front and then dive in.
Yeah, I don't like to waste time. I do not. Tracy?
So which business functions or departments are most ripe for automation?
Ooh, good question. I think there's 3 these days. In order, it would be sales or like revenue operations. So that would be like handling inbound or outbound leads. So I think a lot of business owners don't know that there's a lot of opportunity to completely automate what happens after that initial consultation. And from like proposals and documents and e-sign getting like one click created and sent out. Once that's signed, invoices get created, customers get created in your billing system and get sent out. Project management workflows can get automatically created. There's a ton of opportunity for just processing sales, and especially for a company that might be thinking about investing in increasing their marketing, which means they're going to put a lot of pressure on their processes, right? Because they're going to have more opportunities and a lot more opportunities to like kind of sift through and eventually deliver on. Thinking about automating versus just throwing warm bodies at it and training staff and all that is a really big opportunity. Another one I actually kind of touched on all 3 already. So the next one will be like finance and billing operations. So automated invoicing and payment processing based on the services you rendered or the products rendered. And then the last one was project and task management. So based on, dynamic events, having things already, like tasks already created for your staff. So they know exactly what to do and what links to click on and what addresses to visit or whatever it is for your business. A lot of that stuff can be automated, and it's actually, I don't want to say easy, but it's a lot easier than a lot of people think. So
It really is. One thing I've recognized that I enjoy automating is the billing process. Like I set that as my price is my price. It doesn't change around. It doesn't fluctuate. I'm sending this invoice out. If I have to do something above and beyond, then I'll go manually create another invoice. But a reoccurring invoice for a client I intend to have for some time, super important. I don't have the time to go through and check that all the time. And if I can automate something, I'm going for it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I found that automation really helps me is for things that I repeat a lot. So a lot of the repeated processes that are always the same for every client or every process. If you find yourself doing those things over and over and over again, that's a thing where you can think about, how do I automate this?
yeah. Put that in as a line item on your invoice and call it a day. You know? So what's the best way to get started with or to plan to become more tech enabled and automated?
Yeah.
Are there high switching costs? We talked a little bit about this before because it can really kill you.
Yeah. So Tracy, you actually kind of segued or teed that question up really well. I think the way that I would recommend anybody do it are physically, like open a doc or take out a notepad and start identifying all the human oriented manual tasks, highlight the really repetitive ones, the ones where you're dual entering data, the ones that are maybe error prone. If you swap numbers out or whatever it is, it could be painful. Things like that are all screaming to be automated. And another sign is that you're growing really quickly and you feel like you can't scale up with humans fast enough, and or you're potentially thinking of like migrating all your systems to maybe an ERP. which is a common thing where you start your business up, you have all your disparate tools, your QuickBooks, your Trello board, your whatever, and those things aren't talking to each other. And then you start feeling pain and you're like, oh, I need to go pay for SAP or a Salesforce or some really expensive thing where configuration of it is, you're kind of writing your soul, you're signing your soul away. And we have a saying, like, you don't need to migrate, you can just automate. Like, you can make those tools start talking to each other. And so if you're feeling this pain point that you're like kind of bursting at the seams, your tools aren't really supporting you anymore because of your growth, that's a great sign that automation is ripe or ready for you. And then your second question about high switching costs is, I think that's one of the beauties of automation, especially today, like 2023, 2022, a lot of tools and business functions they're being consolidated. Like, there's only so many like really popular common small business CRMs. There's only so many kind of QuickBooks competitors, so many project management tools, which means they all have open APIs, and which means they can all kind of talk to each other. And so you don't really have to switch. And they can be designed and deployed right into your business without migrating your systems, training your staff to use a new tool. It just takes a little bit of upfront work and kind of coming up with a strategy, and then do a little bit of implementation work, a little bit of training on how the automation actually works behind the scenes, and then you're done. You don't have to go to a 6-week Salesforce boot camp, whatever, to train your staff on how to use this new thing. So that's my answer there. Not super high switching costs.
Well, and I think kind of like what we were talking about with Ryan too, making sure that the costs you're looking at that upfront, what that end cost can be, so that you don't have to deal with the high switching costs, and talking to the right people that can give you the tools so you're not getting into the wrong platform to start off with.
Yeah. I was doing some research recently, and I saw that the average cost of switching to an ERP for like a small to medium sized business is anywhere between $150,000 to $750,000. And I'm sure it just skyrockets up from there, depending on how big your headcount is. And we've fully automated businesses for under $30,000. And that's even a high ticket price for like a fully automated system. I mean, that the cost of automation is so low compared to the cost of switching to an ERP or a kind of a bigger, hairier system. So definitely keep that in mind. You don't have to migrate.
So so for the people out there watching right now, if they're having ideas thinking, oh, I would love to automate some of these things that I'm doing constantly, but I don't even know where to begin. Let's say they reach out to you. What does that process look like that they can expect to go with you so they can get started with that, organizing all that?
So we have a discovery process. That's kind of that diagnostic, like, what do you need? Let's take a look at your tool stack. Let's take a look at your pain points. And then we would just design the series of automations that could fit your business. We price those out with fixed pricing. That is another way to kind of de-risk the software development process for non-tech companies and non-technical people. So you're not like paying us hourly, and we're not being rewarded for taking extra time or any of that stuff. You know exactly how much it's going to cost, and you kind of pick from a menu of items which things are important to you and that you want to be automated. So we charge a little bit up front for the discovery phase, and then credit it back to you if you ultimately hire us to do any of the automation work that we identify afterward.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, Brandon. Do you have any specials or offers for the audience today? Maybe an event coming up or anything like that?
Yeah, no events, but I did want to offer anybody who mentions the Connect Show, we're happy to provide a steep discount on the discovery phase. We typically charge $1,800 for it, but we're willing to do it for anybody on the Connect Show for $900. So mention it on a phone call with me, or when you fill out our website form. Happy to do it. Would love to kind of educate and make sure that automation is good for your business.
That is a huge discount, people. Huge.
Yeah. And it sounds like if you do get started with them after you get that money returned at some point. So that's what I thought I heard.
You heard it. You heard it.
So you can't go wrong, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. We have a page on our website, theconnectshow.com/Brandon Frisch. Is that how you say it? Frisch?
You did. You
All right,
said
awesome.
it right. Yep.
So you guys can reach out to him there. And yeah, it was great to have you. Learned so much about technology stuff today.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I could talk software all day long, all day long. I love.
I don't know. I
these
can only
types-
talk. I can only talk it for so long, and then I got to go start doing it.
Well, see, that's the thing, because like then I'm like, quick tab on the Google. I've got it on there. I'm ready to go check their pages out later. Hopefully everyone else in the show is doing that too, because I'm not going to check it out now while they're talking, but I'm not going to forget the website. So, so yeah, so I'm super excited to go check out these two new websites and that networking group, because they both knew each other from the networking group.
Yeah,
which was cool.
I've heard a lot about that networking group, and it was in my calendar for a while, but I just wasn't able to attend it for some reason. I don't remember when it falls, but eventually then I took it off my calendar, but it keeps resurfacing. So I'm thinking I need to go to that group.
That's okay. Go Google H7.
So we want to thank all of the volunteers so much for helping out today. The Connect Show is all a volunteer effort. So if you're out there watching, or if you've been a previous guest, or any relationship to the show, and if you're looking about getting more involved in the show, please contact us today. I'm sure we can find a place so you can come help us out with the Connect Show. There's a lot of benefits for you as well. There's a lot of networking involved. You'll meet a lot of people. You'll learn about all these great businesses. So if you're thinking about it, please contact us and join us next week for our show featuring Consuela Munoz and Barb George. Very excited about both of these guests next week. Consuela and I, we've known each other for quite some time. I'd probably say 4 or 5 years. She's got a great coaching business. And Barb, I just met recently, actually, maybe about 2 months ago, and she's opening up a senior living facility right here in Milwaukee. So pretty excited to hear from both of them next week.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to put a little personal plug in today. If you're in the Milwaukee area and you're a professional woman, it doesn't matter if you have your own business or if you have a career somewhere. I have an event at Los Mariachis in Greenfield at 6 p.m. for professional women of Wisconsin. If you're interested in joining us today, please go to pwow.org and join us for dinner and some networking. Meet some great women.
It's a great group, you guys.
I
I wasn't going to it today, but I've been to it many, many times. That is the group actually where Kim and I first met.
You bet it is. I love it. I love it.
Great group.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our show today. Help our community grow by reaching out, inviting a person who you feel would benefit from being a part of the journey. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever it takes. If you're on the socials, this little act goes a long way and helps us gain our reach. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.